approximately north of somewhere and around south of somewhere else, roughly in the middle, is this lovely little coastal town called Beachport. In the winter, somewhat a quiet little fishing town, but in the summer, an absolute mad four-wheel drive paradise, home to some of the best sand driving on our little rock we call Australia. Beautiful, isn't it? And heaps of speculation online about the Robe to Beachport Track being closed and the vast system of sand dunes up through there. It's all being fenced off. Little bits and pieces are being closed off and eaten away, dissolving itself every year. So, this is why I'm here. We're going to go put this mystery to bed once and for all. We're going to head down there and see what's really going on. So, stick around and we'll hit the tracks. Alright, so this is the very start of the Robe to Beachport track on the Beachport side. I'm going to drop down on the bottom of the screen here a what 3 words, so if you'd like to download the app, they're not a sponsor or anything, but it's a very handy app to have. So if you'd like to follow along, I'll drop those 3 words down there and it will bring you within 1 square metre exactly where I'm standing right now. And with that being said, let's crack on with it, shall we? Now I completely understand why all of a sudden they've closed off the sand dunes. Firstly, it's private land. But why after all these years have they decided to block it off now? Well, I reckon there's something in it. After doing a little bit of digging around on the old interwebs, and, you know, from personal experience, I reckon I might have uncovered something that can shed some light on this whole situation. And it's not as glamorous as you might think. Just remember, guys, that the speed limits on Australian beaches are now 40 kilometres an hour, and past pedestrians and whatnot is 25 k's an hour. So just check your speed and make sure you're doing the right thing. Right here is a what we call a washout. Reasonably high tide, lap it up against the sand dunes here. And just look at that. And because I'm by myself, I don't think I'm going to attempt it today. Usually, this beach, it's okay, but not today. Right on the very edge of the winter season, the tides are still changing, high tide in the middle of the day, so it's a little bit narrow for me in Masubi by myself. Otherwise I'd give it a go. But yeah, this sort of thing you do not want to risk. And this beach here, that point just up the end of the coast there, that furthest point, that's called Euro Point. And if you Google that, you'll be able to see where I am. Actually, better idea. I'll give you a what 3 words for this exact location. How's that? And there you know what I'm talking about. This beach here, oh, that wave's coming up. This beach here is pretty well the last bit of inland that, well, the inland track's just over there. If you move over here, you'll be able to see it. Inland track. But just up here a little bit, it's beach all the way through. You can't do anything about it. But that's what we're going to talk about in a minute. So away we go. Yeah, so this here is a bit of a welcome surprise. I wasn't expecting this at all. Last time I came through here, I'm pretty sure they had signs up saying no access through here, but that way to the beach, I thought honestly that was the only exit. But anyway, they've yeah, following the inland track along. The it must have been the parks, I suppose. You come down through here and with a little tractor or something and mulched it all alongside the track, making it pretty obvious on where you can drive, which is good. Everything else is sort of signposted, no trespassing. There's a little sign back there that said that, private property. Oh, very interesting. So I guess we'll keep following this little inland track just here and see where it leads us. I honestly didn't know it came this far through after, you know, the regulations and stuff. So let's go for a drive. Oh, very interesting. I haven't been down this far in a very long time on the inland. But as you can probably see behind me, it's a pretty obvious defined fence that runs through here. Of course, this is looking back over towards the coast, and they've got a sign just up here saying private property. So I don't know what that's all about. They've obviously got a track that runs up through here back to the coast. So this is a beach access of some description. And yeah, over here, that's yeah, what the big puddle of water is. I'll turn you around. Bam, that's the track that we just come up in on. And behind me here, over there, again, a very well defined fence. That's all the sand dunes. That's all the locked out private property stuff. I mean, apparently it's over there as well, but there's a track that runs and divides it all. That's weird. But anyway, I remember coming back through here many, many years ago with Dad in the old Land Cruiser, and it was a stinking hot day, and we just said, bugger it, we're going to get out of here. We don't want to be here anymore. The beach was rubbish. It was blowing a gale. March flies. I'm pretty sure there was flies everywhere that were biting you and driving us absolutely insane. And I was still knee high to a grasshopper in a baby seat. We drove out through there, up through Lake George there and over the dunes, and somehow we made it back. It was many, many, many years ago. It's all changed now. All this was overgrown. Big wattle. But anyway, that's enough of story time. But yeah, that's I suppose the current verdict for now. But we'll keep moseying on. We haven't discovered the end yet, so I just want to see how far this actually goes and what restrictions they've actually put in place for us. So Very interesting. Let us continue. So I was kind of hoping this wasn't the case, but as you may see, or may not see, that is the 10-mile drift, the infamous 10-mile sand dune. I think on the maps they may call it the 9-mile, but we've always known it as the 10-mile. There she is. And what stands between us and the 10-mile? A fence and a gate and lots of signs that say, well, there's one over there, private property. So you may be wondering what that second reason was I mentioned before. Well, it goes like this. Back in late 2023, the summer of 2023, something that we call New Year's, yeah, rings a bell, right? Anyway, this place up here is absolutely chock-a-block full of people. Absolutely crazy, insane. Now that's all right. What's the harm in that? It's a very popular place. It brings tourism to the towns and, you know, all that stuff. Fantastic. That was one thing. Well, multiple things actually. It got a little bit out of hand. Now you can Google up all this sort of stuff on the old interwebs and have a little bit of a look-see, but I'll just tell you as at face value, there was a few incidents from cars being rolled over, hit and run, motorbikes that come head on with a bull bar of a four-wheel drive, then had to be airlifted to the hospital. Drink driving, that was absolutely insane. In fact, I was down here in 23, New Year's, and I nearly had a head on with a patrol. It wasn't fun, so we called it quits and went home. But that night, they also have what they call bush doofs up here, the massive big celebratory party things, which is fine. Everyone's out here having a great time, you know, not disturbing anyone. But when it does get that crazy, things go right off the handles, and yeah. And well, in turn, I suppose, that answers that question. If you don't love it, you lose it. And well, I suppose in this case, we loved it too much. Well, I suppose we'll all just tickle off now and keep following this track, find out where she goes. I'm probably back out to the beach. I don't know whether there's much dunes left. It's all private land through here now. So anyway, we'll see how far we can go. And I hope that busts a couple of myths for you blokes on the interwebs. And I hope you come back. Don't let this be a bee in your bonnet. There's plenty more where this come from. Not the closing part, but driving the beaches of South Australia. Just don't worry about this bit. Whew, far out. The old weather's taken a turn for the worst. By G. Starting to rain. Anywho, that's a beach access there. Well, I think I'm going to pull the pin at that. It looks like that there is an inland track that keeps running all the way through still. So that's good news. But if I turn this camera around in a minute, or I could do it now. Whee! There you go. Oh, that rain is horrible. all your favourite little dune systems there, all closed up. But there is an inland track, so that is good. Very good. Holy dooly. Whew, that rain. These cameras don't really like rain. I better get back to the car. Back to the Subi. So, real question is the Robe to Beachport trip still worth doing? Well, in my humble opinion, absolutely it is. So if you want to get down here and enjoy some actual decent coastline, I highly recommend Robe to Beachport. And besides, you've got this whole big massive stretch of coastline you've got at your fingertips. Not just Robe to Beachport, you've got the whole stretch. And 9 times out of 10, it's generally all to yourself. So pack your 4-wheel drive and get down here this summer, and I really look forward to seeing you all. It'll be great. Anywho, if you like this sort of content, please like and subscribe to YouTube. Check us over on our Facebook page, Warra 4x4. And if you really want to go that little step further, I'd highly recommend jumping over to buymeacoffee.com/Warra 4x4. And any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. I'd like to give a quick little shout out to Dave and Michelle, our most recent supporters. So thank you guys. You made this video possible. And I suppose we'll catch you next time on Warra 4x4. Oh, one last thing. If you guys would like to help us get to 1,000 subscribers, we're considering about doing a little giveaway. So just on that bombshell, it's time to end. Ta-ta! Oh! Someone's Barbie plate. You beauty! Free lunch plate, Tucker. I'll take this home. This will clean up all right.